listen. I still miss that.
Yeah, I know. It's classic.
Hey, listen. And speaking of listening, welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio, your host. As always, tonight I'm joined by the beanied one, Gerard Barrera.
What's up, all my friggin' nerds? Oh my God, Tears of the Kingdom. We're already going to get into it.
Dude, this is going to be this episode. Yeah. And we are sans the baby-faced one, as he is having to adult and work tonight.
Bummer.
But we do have with us the maitre d' services, the man, the myth, the legend, the lion's mane, Jason Valerio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going tonight? Oh my God, dude. I can't stop watching these videos now. Like,
dude, right? It's so wrong, but like, dude, there's a lot of imagination going into it. It's kind of like, it's impressive, but it's also scary.
And we'll get into that because I am loving my TikTok feed is basically Tears of the Kingdom right now, and it's
and fusing like just how much of like a stamp of approval and like this game succeeded with the idea of fusing the weapons, dude. They're like you said, my feed is bombarded of like anything people have come up with, and they've been so imaginative. It's been awesome, but also pretty funny too.
Oh my God.
Hey, real quick before we don't get too far. Hey, Jerry, the Nugs are up 15 already in the first quarter.
Oh, really?
It is 34. It is 34-19 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And
Game one.
The Joker already has 12 rebounds.
Game one. Not even.
Yeah, it's game one. It's game one. We'll see.
It's the Western Conference Finals.
But
that's like,
you want to go down. You want to go
that's
down
strong.
1-0 to the Nuggets? No.
Well,
that's a strong start. We'll see.
Yeah. And
Still
my Rockies
more game,
are winning.
baby.
My Rockies are winning.
Nice. Oh, it was a good day all around, baby.
Yeah. It is a good day all around. So anyways, how you guys doing?
Good. Just been working.
Yeah.
And just laying low and playing games. Finished Survivor, and so I can have a nice clean slate in time for Tears. But
I did not get a chance to finish Fusion before Tears dropped.
Oh,
Metroid Fusion.
So you gotta go back to it. That's gonna be a while.
I blame the Splatoon Splatfest because I started playing it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's not your fault because didn't one of the kids get into it and you wanted to? I mean, that makes sense.
Well, no, I started playing it and then Cody saw it and he's like, "Oh, I want to go play."
You got him into it. Oh, so okay, that's on you. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
awesome.
It was the Splatoon Zelda crossover, so it was kind of
fun. That's cool.
So yeah. So Jason, how's your Costco minute?
Oh yeah, it's the same. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
I will be becoming a Costco member here in a couple of weeks.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
We can start shopping at the new store.
Yeah.
You know, the one that you can probably transfer to. Come hang out in Colorado.
Message.
All right.
I mean,
the posting
Theo and I will actually.
It's still like on our wall.
Hey, just saying, Theo and I will actually come see you.
Yeah, it's like just outside of Boulder, I believe.
We've already seen each other. We just got we got work busy right now.
My town. It is like 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like right around Boulder-ish.
Kind of. I mean, yeah, I'm like 15 or I'm about 20 minutes to Boulder.
Something like that. Yeah, because that's where they were promoting it as. Like.
Yeah, I mean, it's the closest biggest city. Yeah. So yeah. So before we talk about the ridiculousness and the launch of Tears of the Kingdom, we do have one little bit of gaming news to talk about, and that is the EU has approved the Activision merger with Xbox. So all
Okay.
that's left is the US and the UK to stop being holdouts.
Oh, that's
So
one step. We'll see.
They've
One step
they've
closer.
signed deals, they've signed deals to accommodate all the stuff that, everyone's complaining about, like cloud, dominance and stuff like that, which cloud streaming really isn't a thing right now, guys. So so honestly, I don't care. Just let it. It's not going to do anything for competition. It's really not.
I mean, it's all in all, it's being Microsoft, like it's pushing Microsoft to be better Microsoft, and
Yeah.
it's seriously like I've told everybody, and I still stand firm on, Nintendo's family, Sony is single player and story, and
Not anymore.
and Xbox is shooter, man. I mean, like
but really at its base, but I still agree, because at its base, like really at its base level, at the core, you're right.
Yeah,
it really is
at the
still
core. I mean, of course, there's going to be like one-offs that are just like, wow,
here and there.
Yeah, you got to give it up. You got to give it up. They're there. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, for the core fans, you got shooters,
for the core,
non-shooters,
family. I mean, now that PlayStation has acquired, that studio that specializes in multiplayer games, it's you see where the shift is going.
Yeah.
But I just don't.
Or they're getting ready for the court decision. I mean, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Because that decision is really going to impact a lot of Sony's decisions in the future.
Oh, and they need to resurrect something like SOCOM or Killzone, or you have Destin.
Well, not just that, but that's what I'm talking about. Is that
shooter game?
The whole point of their resistance to the Activision merger and all that is that they're afraid that if they get cut out of getting COD, of Sony being able to get COD, that from what they said, that flux of money from COD went to like Horizon, Uncharted 4,
Sony
like
Santa Monica.
Yeah, Sony Santa Monica.
It went to the big boys.
That's going to hit a big chunk of what they can, put their money towards. Which I think that other purchase is like to pivot, be ready for, what's to come.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the other thing. Why we're really not seeing a lot of movement from Sony. I think they're waiting for that court decision and
they're waiting.
What's going on?
They're going to react to this, and like
I said, because like you said, Matt, the past few episodes, we haven't seen any movement when it comes to like, I mean, anything. I mean, really original or like any like original IPs coming soon. But we've seen so much movement, even from Xbox's side. They've still been promoting. And Nintendo has still been, going on. I would say they're probably number one right now.
Just Nintendo is Nintendo.
Nintendo's been Nintendo. Exactly.
You do Nintendo. You do nothing wrong. You stay at your original price forever.
Keep it your pace, dude. Be the tortoise. Stay at your pace.
Yeah,
you're at the top of the hill right now.
Yeah, especially after this last week.
Yeah, no joke.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But that's what I like. It sucks because we're not seeing any movement, because I feel is that whole court case. I mean, so hopefully we see more movement, and so they come to some sort of agreement or something happens, because that like if Sony loses, that's they're gonna have to reschedule or restructure a lot, I assume, with their AAA titles that they want to back or have come out. So it'll be interesting. It sucks, man.
Like I said before, they all three now are like strengthening what they're good at. They are hitting exactly where they need to hit, and it's going to make games a lot better. It really is. You're going to see a lot more of people doing the whole like, oh yeah, this one's better, but you play your game, man. Like, it's whatever floats your boat. You're gonna play it, and it's gonna be a lot better, because these studios now are being kind of bred in a way to fit a better audience, you know? That's all it is. Like I guess like you were saying, like all the money that was previously going to like Activision from the PlayStation side, you know, that's going to go now towards Sony Santa Monica or
Yeah.
you know, wherever
Or
else it
they're
may
going to
be.
have to get tighter on their budget, or they're
Yeah,
going to have
or they
to,
might
or
pick
they're
up-
going to have to choose one project that year
Yeah,
where
or-
that's they're going to have to bet on, you know, which means, you know, it's going to take longer for them to develop. They're going to, you know, test it out and make
Yeah.
sure, you know, people want it.
Or
You
they
know,
might
it'll just
actually
take
pick up
longer for
Square.
them to take out.
You
Or,
know?
oh yeah,
Maybe
I mean, that's
they pick up
another good
Square,
one.
you know,
That's
like,
a good idea.
anytime they want to hire me, you know, like I am more
But
than willing
they're
to jump
still-
ship and go there. But
But they're
you know.
still rogue, baby. They still want to be independent.
yeah, but you never
Which
know.
I don't blame them.
You get Papa Sony in there, you know, and like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy is gonna look mighty
Pretty
fine.
good. Oh yeah,
Mighty fine. So
especially that catalog.
We shall see.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Tears of the Kingdom and that ridiculous launch.
Oh my god.
So just looking.
I don't know
at
about you
different-
guys. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when you picked it up, was there a huge line for you?
Oh yeah. So that's one of the things I did kind of snag some shots of and whatnot.
Oh, sweet.
So and
I
So
should have
let's
picked.
just-
I should have got some of mine too.
so let's just look at, I just tossed this thing together really quick, grab some pictures. So some of these shots are from Nintendo Press, as well as some are from
Oh sweet.
their Twitter account. So basically Doug Bowser was actually there at Nintendo
Oh
New York,
sweet.
handing
Wow.
out copies and helping out with that. They
Bitchin'
had this
van.
big
Bitchin' promo
giant
van.
bus that on the
Yeah,
other side of
bus,
this
yeah.
was a video monitor showing the trailer and everything for everybody that was in line there.
Oh sick.
Then you had they had the big giant statue that they had at
Ooh.
PAX. You've got,
Ooh, that's a cool. Oh, that's a cool
Fiji,
statue of the Master Sword.
Onuma, the producer, and then Hidemaru Fujibayashi, the director, who's the one on the right in the right picture there. They were on site. For those that have started the game, it's not a spoiler. We all know that the Master Sword gets just worked and decayed like
yeah.
no other.
I like that.
then-
I like it. I really like that statue.
I would
That's cool,
like
man.
that
That
in my
display.
house.
Yeah.
Just saying, Nintendo, you can just accidentally ship it here. I'll find a place for it. And then even in my store, right? This is my store. Now, this isn't even everybody that. So this was probably about 20 minutes before 10 when they could actually release it. By the time 10 o'clock hit, the whole back end of the store was completely full of people. The store manager there, who's right, Johnny is right there in the middle picture. He said they had 200 plus pre-orders.
Yeah, I don't doubt.
Dang,
And
that might have been okay. So
almost
that might have
all of
been
them-
more than my line, because Jason, if you know the place on Examino, the GameStop.
Yeah.
Okay, so the line started from there to the laundromat.
Not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
So
Not
now
too
when you're looking at this, right, from where I'm taking this picture, there was two people to my left that were ahead of me in line, but wrapping all the way around to the,
And
kind
but
of the
still,
center.
but still also
That's
going
just for the
outside
collectors. That's for the collector's editions.
Oh,
On the other
damn.
side of the store is all the people that got standard copies.
Oh wow.
So,
Jeez.
and just a shout out to our buddy Joe Hernandez. I'm sorry, I did check at my store. They didn't have any other collector's editions available. But for those that haven't caught the episode, Joe Hernandez, who was the voice of Daruk, as well as Yunobi in Breath of the Wild, he is back portraying his role of Yunobi in Tears of the Kingdom. So,
Nice.
I'm already talking to Joe, and I'm going to get a hold of Sean so we can have them both back on the podcast, because as long as it's true, it looks like Sean's back as the voice of the Deku tree.
Oh, sweet.
Which, according to IMDb, I don't know where the tree is or anything like that. I haven't even gotten that far yet.
But Rashad said, "Do not believe in IMDb."
True. That's what I'm saying. I got to reach out to him. you know,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna shoot him an email.
Oh,
and
but
see,
that'd be sick.
I want to get them both on so we can just talk to them about their, you know, how they're feeling about tiers and whatnot. But
Yeah.
That'd be great.
This game is sheer ridiculousness.
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's
Like,
so great.
yes.
Honestly,
It's insane.
so this game is the gift that keeps on giving right now, because like I mentioned at the top of the show, my TikTok feed is pure Tears of the Kingdom right now.
Yes.
And it borders
Yeah.
on the absolute genius of players to design some of these let's call it vehicles, right?
So funny.
Beyond vehicles.
you know,
It's not just
beyond.
vehicles, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You've
Not
got-
just
Dude, it's
vehicles.
gliders. They're mechs.
They're-
Dude,
they're
someone
like-
already made a mech.
fighter, there's
There's
fighter
rockets.
jets.
Yeah, an
Yeah.
actual rocket with what was it?
With the
Ejected.
So we'll talk about the
It bursts
Koroks
his fuel
punishment here in a
cells. Like,
second.
it's so great.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Korok punishment here in a second.
Oh God, and that
But,
too. That's so sad.
So you have you know, I've seen a helicopter, which the genius just to make that and
That
have all
was
the weapons
amazing.
on it is
Yeah.
insane. Somebody made a replica of something from Macross, like one of the, like in the fighter mech mode, you know, where it's the legs are down and it's still the jet. I've seen the mech, you know, which looks like
the
something
mech
out
was
of Mech
cool.
Assault, you know, a mech warrior.
And there's another thing too. I guess whatever you create, I don't think I'm there yet, but I think you can save what you create, and as long as the materials are all there, you can
as long as you have the materials, yeah.
you can click it and it'll automatically like make itself again. That's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
But let's hear what else. There's been armored tanks. There's been
The tank was
somebody
good, yeah.
set up. Somebody made a like a little vehicle that had spears on the front of it, like they were jousting, and just running it through bokoblins. You know, it's great seeing all the ingenuity, and I think that's kind of what Nintendo was going for. You know, that open world, open
Home
design
run.
type
They
thing.
hit a home run.
Now, what I don't think they really thought through
was
that
the agony.
This was going to be Legend of Zelda: Revenge of the Players, because
God.
Oh
for,
my god.
Oh
for
my
those
God.
that have played Breath of the Wild and have actually completed the Korok mission, right? There was 900-ish, something like that, Koroks that you had to find throughout Hyrule. And your reward for it was a golden pile of shit. That's the best way to put it.
Nice big golden piece of poo.
Yeah.
A bigger piece of poo of the other pieces of poo that you were collecting technically, which were Korok seeds.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Yeah, let me see if I can find a picture of it. But yeah, it was, here it is. Let me share it out. So this was your reward right here. This golden pile of poo for collecting all of the seeds. So with that, and some TikTokers have gone on record and saying this is revenge for what you did. We have been seeing
it's brutal.
one of the worst I've seen so far is some players have made rotisseries.
Yeah, the
out of
rotisseries were
Koroks,
bad.
and they're roasting them over a fire. I have seen you have
the cannons.
that's not the worst.
Yeah, the
I've seen.
cannons.
There's a cannon where somebody made a springboard cannon that just launches the Korok out in the blue. They've made little cars to put the Korok in and put rockets around it and set it off and sent them off into the blue. The rocket that Jerry was talking about is kind of like the Atlas rocket that sent, astronauts to space. Had a Korok on the tip of it, and they launched it and they called it Korok 1. Where the bottom broke off away and you just had the top stage.
But then it activated the secondary rocket that it had on there, and it went further. It was so
great.
bad.
Honestly,
it was great. My God. So
take the Korok out of it. It was great.
Engineering
design,
wise,
the fact that you could do it, right?
But man, also brutal. That was brutal, bro.
I think the absolute, like the worst one I've seen is that there's been, one person that had a wagon with a horse and a single Korok up on a cross, like they were crucified,
That was messed
but
up.
then there was another one
that got real. That got real.
that had all three of them, that had all three Korok, had three crosses and Koroks on them. And
I didn't see that one.
Doing that. And then there was one where it had a Korok on a cross, and they basically had the flamethrowers underneath it, basically roasting them alive.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. That one's brutal too.
You know what? I get some of this, and I get the frustrations from doing that quest. I really do. But you took it to a biblical sense. And I think that's kind of, for me, that's a little too far, especially even rotisserie, Kurok, just taking it a little too far. But some of the other ones are just hilarious. Like, I'm just going to launch them all off in a car with rockets. But
just overall, I'm just baffled by the imagination of it all.
I am not baffled at all. I am riding this ride. I do not care. Like, I want to see more of it.
I kind of do too, and I'm kind of like, but also I don't want to open the floodgates. But I just want to I'm kind of like, okay, wow.
I have seen weapons on weapons on weapons.
Yes,
that like literally is like a pitchfork on a pitchfork extended by a pitchfork, like so stupid. Like it's so funny. I don't care. I want more of it. I knew when I said it last week. What am I looking forward to? This is what I'm looking forward to, because the amount of ridiculousness in 4 days since it released. 5 if you want to count like the midnight pre-release.
Yeah.
But less than a week. We are getting so much ridiculous content, so much genius content that you're just like, funny. Oh my god! Like, so it's the never ending. I never wanted to rant.
The speedrun bar has already been set. Somebody beat the game in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Somebody else has already beaten the game 20 times. It's
insane.
But honestly, if for speedrunners and just beating it like 20 times, that means you are doing absolutely no side questing. You are not just exploring.
Who knows, man? Maybe they're just God-handing everything, just God-hand this, God-hand that, and just like if you get like a
Friday, Saturday,
if you get a weapon
Sunday,
that's
Monday.
like seven.
That means you're playing. That means you're playing through the game though 5 times in a day. If you think about it, there's no way you're doing side questing. Like, there is no way you're doing side questing on that game when there's people that have put hundreds of hours into that and they still haven't found everything.
Fair.
So that being said, to your point though, Jay, is that I've seen videos of people that are like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to try and figure out how to climb my way over there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make myself a big ass, long freaking
huge ass bridge.
I love it. Oh yeah,
huge ass bridge.
I also came across my feed too. This was the best day. It was like, dude, I think the guy was like, also saying in the video, okay, there are a few enemies there. No, I'm too lazy. I don't want to do that. Click, 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 click. Long ass bridge, just boom, clapped it all down, and then just bypassed everything.
Over. Yep.
I
will say this: the funniest two TikToks I have seen though are using the ascend ability. And one of them, somebody was in a cave and decided they didn't want to be down there, and they ascended up. And when they came out of the ground, there was a Lionel sitting right in front of them. That's so great. That's when you got to bail. And then another one was where they actually went up through a ceiling and ended up inside the almost looked like a base for the assassins. The guys that all of a sudden will you meet them on the road in Breath of the Wild, right? And they disappear and turn into an assassin. Yeah, they ran into this whole base of assassins. They appeared up out of the hole going. It's like, oh crap!
Oh
gotta
damn!
Go. Yeah,
That's funny.
So
Yeah. And like that's the other great thing about the game, man, is that there's like so many. They really listened to the fans and like there are so many like interesting just things to check out, like caves or even just little monuments that could lead to something or lead to a chest here and there. It's so well drawn out that like there's so much to explore and find.
From a gaming perspective, right? Nintendo usually doesn't go uber dark with anything. Like really, yeah, you get some like dreariness sometimes in setting up your story, like we had with like Breath of the Wild, right? It was a calamity, kind of wiped out a lot of things. But I think the opening to this game was pretty much Empire Strikes Back level, with the main bad guy giving the middle finger to Zelda and Link. And this is not really, I mean, this is kind of a spoiler for anyone that hasn't started the game yet, but you know, the whole picture that we showed where they had the Master Sword Decayed, which is all over their promo material. The pre-order bonus at Walmart was a wall scroll with a Decayed Master Sword. So, but just the fact is that he didn't even bat an eye at the Master Sword and just destroyed it. Like, that was epic. Like opening going,
like also no joke. He literally like pointed and like destroyed everything. Okay, yeah, like and that's the thing that I was kind of. It was like you said, man. It was so well done and well written. You know, a lot of gamers and a lot of people kind of shun, you know, the reset for games. But this made sense.
Explainable.
It was explainable that, oh no, like he got hurt. They opened a new evil. And yeah, that makes sense. He lost all his power. The Shriek Slate gone. You know, it's a total reset. It makes sense. But yeah, it was real done. It was just, I think that's a great comparison. Empire level. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Or like Revenge of the Sith, where, you know, Vader shows up at the Jedi Temple and just slaughters all everything, you know. That's the one thing. There is one tiny little thing I am disappointed in, is that when it comes to the amiibos, we don't get Wolf Link anymore. So in Breath of the Wild,
kind of hoping Wolf would show up again.
But he just gives you meat. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, for those that are just starting off, this is something just as a make sure you don't delete your save file from Breath of the Wild if you have it, because if you go to the stables, you will get all of your horses from Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
Which means
I have two opponents.
which means my opponent is waiting for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know what though? I've already unlocked, been using the amiibos and whatnot. So I've already got a ton of the fabrics.
Oh, me too. I just got a couple today.
Yep. But I will say this, it's no matter who I talk to, like we're all doing different things within the game. Like at this point, once we get off the Sky Islands, we are all doing.
Oh, but that's the beauty of the game. That's what I love about it.
That is the beauty of this game.
Like, where'd you go? Like, oh, sweet. Oh, okay, cool. Like, oh, I'm over here. Like, oh, that's there. Like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and I see this being like, I'm interested to see what the numbers are going to look like, you know, for how many they sold through, because I've seen rumors that, you know, Nintendo sold through their initial availability of digital licenses for digital copies, and that they sold through physical copies. Like, it is hard to get a hold of the game right now.
Yeah.
And
really,
I saw reports out of France that for France alone, they've sold 500,000 copies already, which is more than FIFA 23 did in its first week, which FIFA 23 was the most popular game in France.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, this is
that's
big,
has been
dude. Brewing. This is this is
I mean, when they were and especially, you know, the successor to Breath, which also hit records and did very well, you know, there was a lot riding on this. And now that this is showing it very successful. It's only going to rise, man.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how much the opening sales were and how much it's going to sell for in the future. Like how long it's going to go.
Yeah. I think one thing I'm looking forward to is I want to see who creates that one ultra vehicle to go up against the final boss. Like I want to see the firepower.
Dude, someone's gonna think of it.
Somebody's
like, okay, I'm gonna need this many things. Like they're even gonna show their inventory. This is what it takes. Like,
yep,
that'd be so sweet. I'm down for it. I'm down for just watching the video. Like, I created this, I put this and this together, and then boom, start her up. And then
you know what? I have to applaud all these content creators that are doing these videos, right? And they're not really spoiling anything. They're showing.
No, they're really showing moments. Yeah, really good moments.
They're showing these brief moments that are out in the wild. Yeah. They're not showing story. They're not showing anything. And I have to applaud people. You know, the folks where, you know, with Horizon, with Burning Shores, right? That was ruined for a lot of people right from the get-go because people were already
that whole thing get linked, leaked.
No, it wasn't necessarily leaked. It was just a whole bunch of people that were just going, "Oh, look where I'm at," blah blah blah. You know, even Jedi Survivor had some stuff where people were posting stuff on. Twitter
I had to avoid that
and ruining things.
Well, I mean, it's mostly because of look at the content that's coming out right now. Just people are just messing with Ultra Hand. Like it is.
They're just bored. They're like, "Ooh,
it's gotten out of hand, sir."
That
was your dad joke for the day. You're welcome.
So bad.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, like,
can we just use his mouth shut? Oh,
but the content you're getting right now is just honestly, it's just so much.
It's
Ultra Hand, and you can't help but laugh. You honestly can't help but laugh.
Yeah,
and you have no idea.
Some of it is the
people that don't
some
have
of it's
the game
views.
yet, which I don't know who, but people that don't. They're just like looking at like, what the heck is going on? Oh my God, what the hell is this?
Dude,
like,
people turning their shields into skateboards.
Dude, like anything. Like,
I actually tested it. I took a minecart and attached it to my shield. And I was sitting there rolling around the prairie. Yeah. Just, it does wear down the durability and it does eventually break. But just the fact is they were using it to grind rails up in the Sky Islands. Like they're like, forget building like all these other contraptions. We're just going to grind the rails to get over to where we're supposed to go.
Tony Hawk this thing, you know, like
Tony Hawk it, and it was great. You know, it's like I see all these things and I go, wow, you know, those are some really cool ideas. But then it makes me laugh. It's just like you were bored enough to figure that out. And
that's the thing. But that's the thing about this game, though, too. These players are going to take that time to figure it out. That's what's so cool about it, and that's what excites me as well. But meanwhile, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go pick up the family from the airport. So I'll see you guys next week, and thank you all to the listeners.
This is where we. No, it's okay. You can go. This is where Jason and I are going to have our moment. And you know,
oh god,
I gotta get my beanie. I'm just kidding.
All right, bye guys.
Back downstairs.
I'll see you later.
Bye, Jay.
Bye, guys.
But so for the remaining listeners, because Jerry left, so we did get a video posted to the website for the collector's edition, but I was able to get a hold of one. So the steelbook was super nice.
Yeah. And it's how much was like I'm like even Rona got some swag.
$130. It was $130.
Yeah. It's not too bad at all.
When you're figuring $70 for the game, so you're figuring 60 extra bucks for, you know, the steelbook.
Yeah.
You know, up there I've got the steel print that came with it, you know, which is super nice. I actually think it's better than the disc-plate ones. You got the game, you got the pin set, and then the art book.
Yeah,
which is
that's
gorgeous,
honestly, and what you want for Zelda. Like,
yeah,
the art book alone is worth probably. Like,
it is gorgeous, you know, and the amount of artwork and things that they did to prepare for this game are insane.
Yeah. And again, that's what you're going for, like with a lot of Zelda
Yep.
memorabilia, you know, the artwork, the extra
And I think it,
small stuffs.
yep. And then I was able to get a hold of the amiibo,
Yeah, I think
which is super nice.
which one is it?
Huh?
What again? Yeah, I think Rona picked that one up too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like at this point, because I love the amiibos and stuff like that. I think that's why I'm okay with not having statues right now, like getting the art book for the game and grabbing the amiibo, because I can put more on my shelves, because you know I have all my Zelda amiibos out and whatnot. So Jason, where have you actually, are you still up on the Skylines, or have you gotten off the Skylines, gotten to mainland at least?
Oh no, like I said, Rona's the one who's been playing it. So like
Yeah.
I've seen it just for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
She normally plays it at work. So like,
Nice.
yeah.
How's
Well,
she
because
enjoying it?
there's downtime, you know, for her.
Yeah.
So she does that, and then yeah, like she's been enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I have no idea where she's at right now. Like, who knows?
They're yeah, so it was it's been interesting. I found a bunch of Koroks already. Just hiding in random places.
It's
And
4 days out, and it's just, you know, like I think it's a lot of people. It's not all hype. It's not just hype, you know. It's not the flavor of the
no.
month. You know, like a lot of people always think that, like, oh yeah, it's just the flavor of the month. Like, yeah, there are games that are going to be that way, you know,
Yes.
but this is
Absolutely.
tried and true. Like, you pull out another Zelda game, if it's a classic type of Zelda, you're going to get a lot of people. If it's like Hyrule Warriors or like some spawn off, yeah, you're not going to get the full force of people, but you're still going to get a lot of people. And for it to just like kind of sell out almost digitally and physically, like within a week, I don't doubt that at all. I really want to see what the numbers are, because I am just really interested. But you know, it's
So I was seeing, when we're talking about where it's going to lead and stuff like that, I think this is bigger than just Tears of the Kingdom and Zelda, right? Because like even Jason Schreier, which we all know is one of the biggest game journalists out there, right? He tweeted out that, this is his quote, is what video game executives will learn from Tears of the Kingdom. And one is games all need crafting now. Which honestly, we're all, everyone's enjoying crafting.
Yes and no. Like,
but he did point out something, and I think this is the bigger cause for discussion, right? Is that what they should learn from Tears of the Kingdom is retaining your staff is vital, which absolutely, right?
yeah.
If you keep your staff together, you're going to get repeated gold. You are going to get, it's kind of like, Metroid Prime's a prime example, right? Dad joke intended. Is that, Metroid Prime 1 through 3 was done by Retro Studios. They decided to give Bandai Namco a shot at Metroid Prime 4. And it was so bad that they had to scrap the development of Metroid Prime 4, go to Retro and say, you're doing Metroid Prime 4 and start over. So it's like, it's that thing, right? You keep your team together.
Yep.
You're going to get results, right? But then he also said, that the graphical fidelity arms race is a waste of money. And in some ways I can agree with that. Like all these companies are so hell-bent on how many wrinkles you can see in somebody's face, how many
blades of
individual
grass,
hairs, all of that, right? And okay, that's nice to a point in some cases. It's nice to see pretty games and whatnot, but you look at what the development costs of those games are, and if a studio doesn't make the money back, they're at threat of being shut down by PlayStation or Xbox or whoever it is, right?
Yeah,
because they didn't make the money.
And you can realize that too, to expand on that, with like all the graphics and stuff. Yes, like we love seeing all the prettiness and stuff like that, but how many people do you really know that play on performance mode versus, or I play performance mode versus playing graphics mode? You know, like I never play graphics mode. I usually play performance because I want that smooth streamline, that like nonstop, not a single bit of like lag that you can kind of visibly see.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh yeah, well, you know, you can get to a certain point before it does that. But you know, I'm not here to like, I'm not wearing VR. I'm not trying to be all up in there. I want to enjoy the entirety of the game. You know,
Yeah.
like there's two different things where people are like, oh yeah, it's got to be like, if you don't have 1,000 like pixels per square, like per square centimeter or whatever, like, or like millions of whatevers, you know, it's not going to be a great game. No, it's going to be a great game. You have to just be able to like show the player, this is what we want to do, this is what you're getting, boom, like enjoy it, enjoy the fast-paced shooter, like the nonstop, like millions of monsters everywhere, like recklessness, or enjoy that very slow, like mist like game where it's like you see everything, you have
Real
to
quick,
feel everything.
Jay, this is what I was talking about right here. So this was somebody I follow on Twitter that posted this as a screenshot from a TikTok, right? This is just one of many things where they're, you know, crucifying Koroks. You know,
Like, I mean, I get
that's
it.
how
it is like one way to depict it, but again, it's just a little over the top. A little over the top.
It is. So, I mean, I think honestly, like this game is like Nintendo games are gorgeous in their own right.
Yeah.
Because these teams know the hardware. And that's always been the case with Nintendo first party titles, right?
Yeah.
You go all the way back. It's hard to find a title that was done by a first party Nintendo studio that looked like garbage on a Switch, you know, a Nintendo console.
Release day. And even if they were, it was a Mario game and they're like, oh, it's a Mario game. Like,
right.
It gets a pass.
But I think it is to a point though, like you have all these studios that are putting all this money into graphical fidelity, right? To make these games look so pretty. And I think in that quest, you have things that happen with like Redfall, which only launches with 30 frames per second, you know, because they're putting so much money into these, you know, how the game graphically looks, that, you know, they're kind of missing the point in some ways, because look at how many copies Zelda has. I mean, even at my store alone, north of 200 pre-sales.
Yeah.
And, you know, come the day after, or not the after, 2 days after, they were down to 10 copies that if those weren't picked up, they're going out on orders, you know, that people have ordered online. So, you know, they sold out, you know, and look how sought after the collector's editions were. Like, we don't care that you can't see every strain of hair that's on Link. No. You know, we just, and this,
we know that he's blonde. Where I
think
that's all we need.
We know he's blonde.
He's a blonde
guy.
Right. You know, he's cool.
And look at those long locks that he has now, just hanging out there, you know, doing his best Fabio. But ultimately is like, I want games to be fun. And like,
or
and I think that's where,
or have a purpose, or like, pinpoint something, you know, and that's like, it's we're missing that. We're getting too many cookie cutters, or we're getting too many sequels, or we're getting too many remakes. Yes, remakes,
or remasters of a remake. You know,
like,
and that's the thing is we're okay. Yeah, a lot of people have said, "Well, this is just Zelda DLC," right? Well, once you get into the game and start playing it, you'll realize this is not DLC, not in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, it's the same map, but
even if it was a Zelda DLC, you know, like it's still a continuation of the game. It's still like, think of people be playing Minecraft, and I want to out you a little bit, Matt. People be playing Animal Crossing for hundreds of hours, you know?
Yes.
Is there an end game?
Nope. Not in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but I mean, there is no real end game, and again, there doesn't need to be an end game, because like,
and I love
if
it.
That DLC, if that DLC in Tears of the Kingdom, and they want to call it that, let it be that, because look how much content is out right now, just only on Ultra Hand. and fusing.
Yeah.
That's it. There's like nobody has posted anything about the story because everybody's so intrigued about that ultra hand, that fusing, being able to do stupid things for hours on end, you know, and just having fun. And that's again,
I mean,
that's what people just
I
want to get back to it.
I stuck the dragon head, you know, that shoots flames out of it. I stuck that to a shield.
Yeah, because why
and
not?
it was like, it's like, why not? It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, look, I have an offensive defense, you know? So it's so enjoyable, and that it doesn't feel like a chore. It's like I found an area on the islands, and I was like, before I actually realized that if I looked down from the cliff, it wasn't a cliff, it was just kind of like a small drop off to a lower area that got to where I wanted it. But I spent a good hour trying to construct something that would get me up an ice wall, you know, just to climb it and whatnot. Now, granted, I didn't, and I figured out, oh, look, there's this over there. And I was like, well, there's a big body of water. I didn't see that there wasn't land right there. So I was like, let me try and build something that I can fly myself over there.
More
You know,
fans,
more
man.
fans. You know, more fans. But that's the beauty of this game. And that is these devs, I think, accomplished without me even getting that far into the story, have already gotten its hooks into me more than Breath of the Wild did.
Yeah.
Like,
and again, they're not, they crafted the idea. They said, you know what, let's just get the base on a lot of these and just show people this is some of the possibilities you can do, you know. And they're like, oh man, like, you know, you put a rock on the end of a stick and it becomes a hammer, and you're like, oh yeah, cool. But then if you add, like, you know, if you add a slingshot to the end of it, it becomes like
dude, somebody threw a boomer. Someone made a boomerang and put the little laser thing on the tip of the boomerang. So when it fires, it's just all these lasers going around. It's like
have fun with it. Have fun with it. You're supposed to have fun. And
like I was telling Jerry, right, is that like Amber, which is just a thing you use for some upgrades and stuff later on in Breath of the Wild, I was attaching those to arrows and increasing the power of just the arrows alone without even taking into consideration the bow.
And
that's
the joy of it. That's I know a lot of, like, Jason was saying that he's like, oh yeah, you know, all games need to have crafting. No, all games don't need to have crafting. It's just certain games,
but
expand
if they
on
do
it.
have crafting in it, makes it fun.
Remember, we're talking about the fun side of all these videos so far. You know, I've seen one where it's not so fun. I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's
are you talking about the
not safe for work there, guys, but
that's the best way to put it, where they built a like a stick figure with cock shot, you know, and they lit it on fire and blew the guy up. So
so I mean, there is a lot of ups and downs, you know, and just have fun. That's all it is. Like,
but in all fairness, Minecraft did the same thing. You know, there was stupid stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and that's why, like, some games they need it, some games don't put it in there. Don't think about it. Just, you know, set up for the standard. You can buy these, you can buy that, you know, like
but at the same time, think about this, right? All that content that's coming out of this game, that is free advertising.
Oh yeah,
that is 100% free advertising. Nintendo doesn't have to pay for.
Well, Nintendo knows what they're doing. Nintendo knows what they're doing. You know, like when E3 had the Zelda booth, you know, it was literally just Zelda. They didn't give a damn about any other game that was coming out in the pipeline for the next year. Nothing. They didn't care, because they were like, hey, you know what? Check this Zelda game out. Oh my god. Oh my god. And what happened?
I mean, when you think about it, right, is Breath of the Wild was the next entry. Like, you had, you know, Twilight Princess, GameCube and the Wii. You had Skyward Sword for the Wii. Wii U, like, it had, you know,
nothing.
It didn't really have anything until Breath of the Wild came out.
We don't talk about Wii U.
You know,
we don't talk about Wii U.
Honestly, like, there were some games like, for instance, like Mass Effect 3. I thought that port to Wii U played better from a mechanic standpoint than the consoles. Just because the touchscreen, you could actually position, you could actually look at the touchscreen, move your people to where they needed to go, you know, from a combat strategy perspective, right? Now, frame rate and all that, no, that was horrible. But there were some things that allowed you to do that consoles couldn't. Just saying. Yeah. Well,
But
you know.
but I mean, Breath had like we all kind of saw there was a Breath of Wild 2 as soon as we saw that booth.
Mhm.
You know, like it didn't even come out yet, and we knew that
Yeah.
there was going to be a second one, and here it is, and
Mhm.
nobody is disappointed. You know, like almost 10s
No.
across the board.
I'm not
Literally
even in
almost
the
10s across the board.
I'm barely into the story, and it's still a
Yeah.
10 for me.
Yeah,
You know?
that is that
So-
good of a game. That good of a game. I haven't even played it, and I know it's that good of a game. You know, I'm just, you know, there are certain games that just come out in a lifetime that you're just like, okay,
you know.
yeah, you just know.
And
And
there's just things like, for instance, it's like Zelda.
Yeah.
Mario. Like those are just, you know, when those games come out, they're going to just rock. And
yeah,
I think I think it goes
nines.
to show, I think it goes to show the legacy that is Miyamoto-san.
Well,
you
I mean,
know,
just the legacy of
just-
us growing up with
Yes.
these games. You know, like
Mhm.
literally, what the first game you get when you get a Nintendo is Super Mario. Because you're like, okay, it comes with,
Mario.
so you're just like, hey, the game. But
Well, Mario hasn't come with a Nintendo for a little while now.
no, I'm saying like the original NES.
Yeah.
The original NES, I think.
Oh, the
even-
original
yeah,
NES.
the original NES.
Super Nintendo came with Mario World.
Yeah. So you grow up
know?
with these
Mhm.
people, you know. You
Yep.
see it from literally day one. And now that we're older and we have money and we
Mhm.
can just be like, yo, throw it at Nintendo like there's no tomorrow.
Nintendo here.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is like, and I've talked about this over the last couple of weeks, just falling out of love with PlayStation. And I think part of what it is how they're making business decisions, right? With the whole Activision thing and all of that,
It's
and shifting their focus.
A little bit. But you specifically, Matt, you are paving your
I'm a
kids'
dad.
way again.
Yep.
How you were paved at the very beginning. You know,
It's Nintendo.
it's Nintendo.
You know, my boys,
family
my
forever.
boys
man.
love their Switches. Yep.
Family forever. Now, when the boys grow
mean-
up, they might be PlayStation, they might be Xbox, they might be Stadia. Who knows? You know, like
I mean, is Xbox even going to be still around by that?
who knows? That's all I'm saying. Like
knows?
maybe Stadia
But-
comes through. Maybe Steam comes out with a new handheld or a new.
But even then,
system.
it was, I just think it was, I think the other part of it was we talked about it was just the constant, well, we're just going to make sequels to IPs. We're going to, let's remake, you know, this one. Oh, now we're going to take this one and we're going to remaster it. It's
Yeah.
like, there's nothing in the pipe outside of, you have Spider-Man 2 coming, right? But it's always just, hey, well, we're going to possibly remake Last of Us Part 2. Why? I mean, I get it. It's going to make you money. Sure. But why though? Do you need to?
Yeah. Is it because
You know,
you want
whereas
to put
like-
Pedro Pascal's voice in it instead? Like, I mean,
Just,
what?
you know, I mean, I think, but you look at, for instance, you look at Nintendo, right? Though, how many remasters of those classic Nintendo titles have we truly had?
Yeah, not a lot.
They don't remaster a lot.
No.
You know, look at Link's Awakening, right? Yeah, we got a remaster on Switch. How old is that? That game goes back to Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
So that was
needed-
deserving
Yeah.
of a remaster. Link to the Past, I don't think needs it. Ocarina of Time, I think, because of the N64, is showing it. Just here. I'm not saying remake it, just remaster it with just the visuals.
New coat of
That's it.
paint.
Leave new coat of paint and bring it up to visual standards like they did with Link's Awakening. You know, just bring it up to visual standards. I mean, think about Ocarina of Time in the Breath of the Wild engine. just from a graphics perspective. You know, you don't need to change any mechanics, leave it as it is. You know, yes, they remastered in HD Wind Waker and put in a couple of, you know, quality of life things, but that game they left alone, and that thing is a masterpiece. It was on GameCube, it was on the remaster, and I think they do it in a smart way. They don't do it with everything. I mean, heck, look at Metroid Prime. Prime example of a remaster that was well done. It was graphically overhauled, redesigned. You know, you put in a little bit extra control mechanics so you can do first person shooter type style mechanics with it now. But overall, they kept the core of the game as it was. So, you know, hats off to the year that Nintendo's having. I mean, and even the 6 years that they've been having, they are not. The hardware is showing its age for sure because it's just a little bit underpowered for a lot of these games now. Yeah. But we're 6 years in and this thing isn't slowing down, like sales wise. Yes, the numbers show a slight decrease, but when you look at it though, the hardware sales are declining a little bit, but
because everyone has one.
That's because you've reached saturation point.
Yeah,
we have 4 Switches in this house, one for my wife, one for each of the boys and me.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
everyone has one at this point now, and you're just like, okay, like no, of course your numbers are going to decrease. You're like this. Oh, it's still the same price as it was when it came out. Mm-hmm. You know, sans minus the collector's editions, the special editions
that are
you
know, the OLEDs are $10 more for a collector's edition over the actual OLED.
We don't count those, but I mean, just the base model has been the same price. All the games have been the same price. Like, just Nintendo doesn't.
Outside of Zelda, which Zelda's the first one they jumped to $70.
And who cared? Who cared? Nobody cared. Everyone wanted Zelda. Everyone wanted it. They don't care if it's like another $10. Jeez, you got extra stuff because you wanted to buy the stuff anyways. You know, you got amiibos.
I mean, I got the collector's edition and the amiibo.
You got like
45 right there
and
for the
just
two.
Like it's a big name, it's a big thing. People want it, people will buy it, people will pay for it, you know.
And it's causing me to track down the amiibos I don't have and spend more money.
That's a you thing, bro.
But I do this stuff for the games I love, and I have loved Zelda since I first played. You know, I really got into it with Link to the Past, just like I've loved Metroid since Super Metroid. Like, they are my series. Like, as much as I love Uncharted, heck, I wear the ring and whatnot. I will take a Metroid or Zelda over Uncharted any day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So with that, Jason, what have you been able to play since your wife has been playing the Switch? And
she's on the Switch.
Cheers.
So that leaves me open with the PlayStations.
Yep.
So I have what did I finished something and I platinumed it. It was very quick, very short. Well, I mean, like, I did platinum Senua, but I platinumed the game.
We talked about last week.
Yeah, I platinumed the game in between because it was super short. I forget, whatever. It was just a throwaway game, I guess. But I did open up and start up, or not open, but I did start up Ghost. So
how are you liking it?
I am on the Ghost journey. I feel like I am closing up the end of Act 1, maybe, because obviously it's been like, I mean, obviously it's been out for a long ass time. I'm about to raid Castle, the castle to start.
You have to admit though, that game, I know we talked about fidelity and stuff like that, but that's one of those games where I think the fidelity enhances the gaming experience, because that game is phenomenally gorgeous.
The one thing that I am not disappointed, but I wish I could do, one is obviously a few of the games that I've been playing, I want to change the controls. I don't like some of the control styles. You know, like I hate having block on my left trigger finger. I prefer to have it on my right, but it's okay. Like it's small things. The other small thing on Ghost that I wish they did I want to play the game in color when it's me playing, but I want to watch all the cutscenes in black and white in Kurosawa mode. Like
Ooh,
that's the thing that I did not.
that would be cool.
I told my wife, I was like, I hate having to pause it, go to the options, switch it,
Mhm.
and then see the cutscene, and then
I
go
can see your
into fighting,
point.
go literally into
And-
fighting, and then like pause it, go back and play in color. Because I just don't like the fight style in color, but
Mhm.
I like that movie cinematic that you can do
Yeah.
the old school style. Like
Okay.
it's like I wish they had that, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
That's minor stuff.
Yeah, very minor.
Mhm.
I am doing mostly story, not as much side questing, because I know my squirrel instinct is just going to go haywire on that game. It's literally Sekiro and Red Dead put together. So I'm like, you
Mhm.
know what? I'm playing it on normal
And
difficulty.
some of the stuff you have to hunt down to get platinum.
Yeah, so
It's
I
a
like
hunt.
yeah, so I mean right now like I'm just playing the game, playing the story.
Mhm.
Not doing as much squirreling right now. If I find it, I'm like, okay, I'll veer off the beaten path a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like playing the normal difficulty because I am just not in the mood to go on
Yeah.
ultra hard and lethal, where one slice literally
Mhm.
is death.
Yeah.
Just not in the mood for it right now, or not in
Yep.
the mood after playing Sekiro and after
Mhm.
playing like all those.
Yeah.
Tales of Iron was the same way, and I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I just need to take a break from it.
Yep. Nice.
But I don't think there's a difficulty trophy for Ghost. So
There is not,
yeah, so
because
that's why
I
I
have
was playing
the
on
platinum
normal.
on it. So
Yeah,
it's just the same like Horizon. It's
beat the game.
just normal. Just run it through. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was
So
like, I looked it up and I was like, yeah, okay, good. There's no difficulty trophy, so I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just playing normal.
There's no
really don't
reason
feel
to
like
enjoy the story, because it is a
Exactly.
really good story by, the folks at Sucker Punch. So it was great.
I am worried though, because some of the cutscenes that I've seen, I'm like, yo, I don't like it. I don't like the assassination. I love the standoffs. I go head first into everything. I don't give a damn.
See, and I was all stealth and
Yeah,
assassinate.
I don't give a damn.
That's how my playthrough went.
I am blazing through like just 50 guys, no
Mhm.
problem. No problem. No need to just
Oh yeah, mine was all stealth and assassinate and all that as much as I could. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
before I
But what
got
about you, Matt, though? I
Huh?
mean, like you're
so
you're on
before
tiers.
Tears, was doing a Metroid Fusion run about a third of the way through that one, and I was working on a little bit of my Animal Crossing island. So I think I need to go hop on my island and go say hi to my neighbors, so they don't feel like they're not loved right now, and I don't need to get crap from them. Other than that, that's pretty much it. And then playing some Mario Party with the kids.
Nice.
That's been their request. Playing a little bit of Mario Party All Stars.
You showing
Or
them a little
Superstars,
mercy?
rather.
You
The
showing
good one.
them a little mercy, like on some.
Cody whooped our butts 2 nights ago. Was it 2 nights ago or last night? One or two, but he completely whooped us. Like, there was no qualms about it. He got all the stars. Like, yeah, he was up 2 stars at the end. So my losing streak continues.
No
So,
mercy at the
yep.
the Oreo household over there.
Nope. It's like
No
Mario Kart.
mercy.
So, but with that, guys, I want to thank everybody who crashed game night with us tonight. Even if you just lurked behind the scenes and just watched. And for those that are listening to the audio feed, thank you. This is hopefully we gave you distraction from life, especially everything that's going on. And if it's the first time you tune into us, hey, thank you. If you like what you heard, make sure you hit that follow button on the platform that you are listening to us on and enjoying us on. If you want to check out past episodes with our guests, head on over to crashinggamenight.com. Check out contributors and guests, and that's where we have the interviews with like Sean Chiplock, who is the voice of Rivali and the Deku Tree and Breath of the Wild, Joe Hernandez, like we talked about, as well as several other guests from the voice acting and gaming world. But with that, everyone, just please be excellent to each other.
That's right, my nerds. I wish we had Jerry here to say it before he left, but it's okay. It's only me and Matt. It's the first time it's
Right.
happened, you know. So
No,
you
it's not the first time. It's
Has
just
it?
been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
It's
been a
been a
while.
long time.
Yeah,
But
it's been a long
you
time.
know, the ones that actually are you know, concerned about the games, concerned about the future of gaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, stay safe out there, guys. You know,
Mhm.
always show support to all the communities out there. You know, we have a lot of communities that are everywhere, you know, LGBTQ plus communities, Asian communities, Black communities, Hispanic, Latino communities, all these communities out there, you know, they all deserve a little bit of love, a little bit of just some recognition. Um, as always, for myself, service industry workers, retail workers, you know,
Mhm.
you guys are still out there. Congrats to all the food service workers that made it through the Mother's Day weekend. Hopefully, you guys had a good Mother's Day as well. But they survived. You know, give them some props. You know, they the busiest restaurant day of the year. They made it.
Yeah.
But with that, you know, as always, as we like to close it out. Theo's not here, but
Hey, I can do it. I know how to
my
do it
man,
right.
my man, the host of the show, the one that starts us off tonight, will end us
Let's
off.
end it.
Matt.
So as
Do what
our
Theo
baby
does.
face one, yep, as our baby face one likes to say, you know, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Good night, everybody. Good night. No, man, you can't do both. You can't do both, man. Good night, everybody.